Earth has a lot of things going on that a lot of other people can't really get. The camera, and this isn't me talking, and you can't even tell because the camera's closed.
No one's critiquing him. Don't worry.
Gullible Earth is, I don't know. I love him. He's a complicated figure.
Agreed.
He made this great video just before he nuked his channel. Apparently, this is something he does a lot, but I'm new to the game.
He nukes it every time he does it.
About like AI manipulating people into a constant state of rage, and how it's going to essentially, as time progresses, everyone will have this tailored feed that's meant to keep them in a constant state of rage and hatred. And it was really good, well made.
Did he?
And it disappeared.
Did he get called a fed? We were Matthew and I were Erickson Kingfield was on. We were on Jake Rattlesnake's show just this past week, talking about PayPal Mafia and all that stuff, Peter Thiel, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. I just checked back the comments, and of course I was waiting for it. And someone's like, "What is this? A limited hangout? Are these guys on the payroll?" I'm like, "Yeah, we're on the payroll. Yeah, that's it. We're making Thiel dollars." The unfortunate part is Peter Thiel's a cheap motherfucker. He doesn't fucking pay.
Yeah, I don't understand that, honestly. Like, I mean, I don't understand why we're even allowed to talk about any of this stuff lately.
Right.
But we are for some reason. It's probably a sort of like angler fish, with the little they lure you in and then they chomp down on you. I'm pretty sure this isn't a limited hangout intentionally, but whoever's operating the levers of power knows what they're doing. They got something up their sleeve.
You know what it probably is. They're all out of ideas for psyops, so they're just like letting all the spurgs and the chuds talk, and like, oh, that's actually a good one. That's a good one. We could do that one. Oh, what was it? Peter Thiel's like going to enslave us all into Panopticon. Oh well, shit. If that's what they're talking about, we might as well do it.
Wait, why are you guys making me think? I didn't join to think.
Yeah, no. Nadim, what?
Where did you join to do kink? Did you kink? What? Why did you kink for?
I came here because you were talking about homosexuals. I thought we were going to kink.
I'm so gay.
Why?
I was busy selling carpets all day, and I came here just to relax a little bit. I drink a little bit of mint tea and just kick my feet up. And now you guys are making me think about all my kinks.
So much more. I don't want to think. I want to
Buddy.
take I want to take your bank account number and take it. It is not okay.
Send
like
one.
Bill Burr making fun of white people. Like, how do you feel about yourself, right?
I'm making fun of myself.
All right, I'll be right back.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Bill Burr's always like, white people suck, man. It's just like, dude, you're one of us, man. Why are you you gotta play for your team, people. Crownick says all the old scripts are already in play. There's no new scripts. Thoughts?
Just so you know, Helio, listener, I'm not Indian actually.
I didn't think you were. You got a name like Nadim.
I need to make that known. I'm not actually like Indian.
You have the exact accent of apostate prophet, so I'm pretty sure you're like what, Turkish?
No, whoa.
Yeah, careful. Careful.
What's apostate prophet?
I don't know who apostate prophet is, but it's
Arab. He's
Yes.
Arabic.
Iraq?
I'm Lebanese.
Hey, there's a great
But
Turkey guy. What's his name?
What? He didn't speak Lebanese.
David Erhan?
Yeah, he's Turkish.
Yeah, but that's a good Turk. There's mostly bad Turks. That's the thing.
Oh, I know this.
So what do you guys think? Same script that's going on? I mean, I don't really know what the current psyop is. I mean, other than all the Israel stuff, but like it is weird after 2020 seeing all that stuff and all the crackdowns and everything and how it just kind of fizzled. And now we're allowed to talk about stuff again, like you said, listener. And doesn't seem like there's any repercussions for us to just talk. Because like during 2020, if you said certain terms, you were just nuked.
Doesn't that just make you feel like a baby? Like we're just out here being babies and doing what we're allowed to do. I freaking hate that crap.
Yeah.
We're like, hey, we can say what we want a little bit now. Yay, they let us. Like,
yeah.
I thought I was a human man. Why is this something I have to even consider?
Bro, I was trying to say that constantly, like to people like Andrew Wilson, to people like Made by Jim Bob. It's like quit like dialoguing, quit arguing. Just put them in the kitchen. Just put them in the kitchen. Like
break the frame.
Yeah. Enough dialogue, enough conversation, and enough debate of ideas. Just take the power.
I kind of agree with that to an extent. I kind of think Sam High was on some show yesterday, and he's like, I'm not really debating. I don't want to argue ideas. There is no discussion. I want to see my enemies destroyed, and that's that. And I kind of am like, that works for me.
He admitted he's an anti-Semite or something?
That was on Martin or that.
Yeah, with that big guy, that crazy guy that just kept interrupting the whole freaking time, thinking the show was about him.
Yeah, but no, that was actually a good point. I was like, there is no more argument to be made. It's just like you're basically just a retard now at this point.
Yeah, there's nothing to say. And that's the thing. It's like we're going to sit here and debate with people that have spent their entire lives filling our heads with lies and tricks and psyops. And it's like,
porn.
To say, like, they have an ulterior motive, and any debate is not about finding the truth. It's about them getting what they want out of you.
So you're saying we should all be more Machiavellian?
No, I'm not like Sam. I think we should all just go to church and pray a lot more, and
we should stop thinking.
Wait for God to
think less.
Wait for God's will to be done.
Yeah, I agree. I think we should think less, and on that note, I think I'm back into retirement. It was good seeing you.
No, Nadim, don't leave, dude. No, Nadim.
What time is it there?
You're about to be made famous, Nadine. You're gonna be shown to thousands of people in a second.
Yeah, Yvonne's sending out his love to you.
Nadim, you're my only brown friend.
I've been on
you're my only brown friend.
Jim Bob's stream before. I don't. It's not. That's not. It's not.
The fame doesn't do anything for him anymore. It doesn't get his Jimmy's all rustled.
Cool. Gosh, that's so cool, dude. I want to be.
Okay, go get out. Shoot.
Cool.
All right, we were just talking about this. Enough talking, Nadim. Just be a man of action.
Just go.
Okay,
know this delay. I'm gonna leave everybody, and I'm gonna go in retirement. Please talk about how you love me so much. I'm gonna leave. Please, this is your opportunity to say how much you love me.
Come on, Nadim.
Get out of here.
What's the name of this show that I've made?
Mr. Westford.
Mr. Westford.
Me, Mr. Westford. It's my channel.
Nice channel, I think. Who's this guy behind you? You're dead.
That's Nadim. He's still with us in spirit.
Myron Chuck kind of psyoped this a little bit when he turned off his camera and put his logo as the logo for this. That was kind of cool.
What do you mean?
Man.
Always be branding, man. What are you talking about?
I left.
You're still here, dude. Nadim, you are a man of action. Lies do not become you.
You are a man of integrity. I left.
Did it?
Thank you.
Did he? All he did is like turn his camera off.
Yeah,
He's still here.
I know.
bro.
Oh, there it goes. Okay.
I left.
Okay.
right.
I wanted to say this quick thing. Hello, listener. I asked you like what you.
Okay,
think,
here
and
comes
then you
some
went to
real.
Can you get a little closer to the mic, Ivan, please? Sorry.
Yes, of course. So, what I wanted to say was basically, I asked you what you were gonna do, and like, you went on a tirade of like people making content to keep us angry, and I'm like, there you go. That's your niche. That's what you're supposed to do. Like, keep us angry. That's the system.
No, I'm not. I'm here. Honestly, I'm just here to be like an Orthodox person that is a human being. I don't want to be a pundit. I don't want to like be like some hyper political guy. Like, I think here's the thing, and I was talking about it on my show earlier. We've come to a point where everybody knows what the game is. We know what's going on. We know who's behind it. We know what kind of hats they wear. We know what kind of books they read. So that's you guys are all dog whistling over here. What is this? All right. So we know what's going on. It's we don't really have to sit around and argue and shove it in everybody's face all the time. If you know what's going on, you know. And I for one don't have any ideas what to do besides trust God, and I've seen throughout history God's providence will do he'll do things that we are completely unexpected to further the kingdom. And I'm in the school of thought. I believe that we're at the brink of something like that, and we don't really have to. We know what's going on. I think the battle was getting out of like the layers upon layers of psyops that controlled our entire lives. We're out of that. The battle's won. Now we just have to, and the main force of that battle was to get us away from Christ. Like, yeah, it's to control us. Yeah, it's to exterminate whites, whatever. Not whatever, but you know what I mean? That's part of it. But the main thing is to get us away from Christ, because Christ is where all our power lies.
Well, hang on. So now you're live on Mirror and Check now. Say hi, guys. So the title of this show is Merchants of Despair, and I put that in your chat. Hello, listeners. A term I came up with when I was looking into when I was looking into developing my series Tales of the Shadow Empire, and looking at City of London and all these other power groups. And when you look into this stuff, you realize that a lot of these guys are sitting on trillions and trillions of dollars of wealth, like more money than kings and power and all the rest of it. And all they really all they keep doing is doing like porn, gun running, wars, human exploitation, all the rest of it. That's why I call them merchants of despair, because their entire thing, if you think of it, the adversary wants you to despair. The despair is the number one thing the adversary wants. Well, he'll bring you up as high as possible to drop you off, so that you'll self-delete, and that's how the adversary wins.
That's what Satan wants more than anything. Satan wants you to off yourself. That's really the name of the game, is he wants you to off yourself. And
he wants you, actually, I think, put it this way, I think the objective is to make you abandon the image bearer of God status, for you to give it up, right? And if you abandon it willfully, that's how they really get you.
Well, you couldn't abandon the image of God. You could further the destruction, or you could get further away from the likeness.
Sure, like I would say, like the duties and responsibilities that are incumbent upon being the image bearer, right? Like that category, image bearer, comes with it a certain amount of duties and responsibilities that have to be observed in one way, shape, or form. And the further away you go from that, from those duties and responsibilities, the more off the path you go. I think that's really the key for transhumanism. Is like to make people mutilate, self-alter themselves to the point where they start to abandon that image bearer status.
But I would have to say, like, I would agree with a hello listener over here. We're like, yeah, we already know the game plan. We already know everything that's going to happen. So if we already know that, stop flexing, bro. No one can see it.
Hello, listener was doing it too, bro.
Can you hear me now?
But I think like we should just like, at this point, I think we should just have fun with it. We should have fun with it.
Yeah,
that's kind of where we're at. Sorry,
one of the no, it's okay. Back in 2020, this was like the third priest when I was an inquirer in Orthodoxy that I got to really know. His name's Father George Aquero over in Pullman, Washington, and he was talking about all the crazy stuff with 2020 because it was kind of in the throes of all that still. And he was like, once you just are convinced of the church, and you know that the Holy Spirit will guide the church, and that you have faith in that, then all of this geopolitical stuff, all of the psyops, it's actually just fun. Like you can just sit back and enjoy it instead of feeling like it rules your life. It doesn't have to rule you.
Yeah, it's fun.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. We basically won. We already won by not being a part of it, and so that's why they kind of demonize us, because by us being dope and just making music and art and being funny and doing our thing, we're showing that you don't have to be part of this well-oiled machine that they've been working on for however long. You can be a human being and exit the lie, and so it just makes it more and more appealing to those outside.
Yeah, and what's funny is like it kind of goes back to like Wes and I were having a conversation yesterday, or no, it was the day before yesterday, about comedians, and it was like comedians have lost their whole objective of just being a comedian. You are supposed to be the clown. That's it. You're the clown. You're not supposed to be this like smart-headed person. It's like, I believe that everyone is supposed to have this. Oh, fuck you, Duck. You fucking.
I don't know who Duck is. He joined. I pressed. Hello,
What's
Duck.
up, buddy?
How are you doing?
Hey, how are you doing? I'm good. How are you?
Apparently, you and John Mondragon have some history.
You made him mad,
I've
but
never met John. Being honest, John's never met me either. He seems like a hateful person, though. Hey,
yeah, don't worry. Duck, hold on. Duck, you offended the worst guy here. It doesn't matter.
I wouldn't say someone's the worst guy here. He looks like maybe the smallest guy here, given his last brand.
How tall are you, Duck? Duck, how tall are you? How much do you weigh? Tell me right now.
I'm about.
No, just tell me. Just tell me. Shut the fuck up and just tell me how tall are you and how much do you weigh?
John, are you going to go to the gym? Yeah, sorry, guys. Oh, John, are you going to go to the gym if I tell you how much I weigh? Are you going to go to the gym, or what are you going to do if I tell you how tall I am?
I don't care. Just tell me.
Ask your mom. What did your mom feed you? Are you corn fed?
No. Just tell me.
Not?
Just
bro, you look corn fed, dude.
You still can't answer a fucking. Everyone asks you questions, but you're just like, but what about your mom? What about your mom?
Are you shaking? I didn't say anything. Are you shaking, dude?
All right, Duck. I've never even heard of you or seen you. You just showed up. I'm just gonna moderate and let's go back to the conversation.
He shows up in Sarah Raging Tomatoes debate streams quite often, so he's a unit.
Gotcha. Well, like I said, I've had this happen with what was this guy's name? The Muslim dude who doesn't like toilet bowl earth. What's his name? I don't know. He showed up once and it's like suddenly somebody's know I'm talking about. Does like these long 8-hour streams. Anyways, he showed up on my stream once and he just like started like I'm just gonna moderate and take you off. I don't hate you, don't care. And then he like started I'm not saying this is what Duck's gonna do. I don't know who he is. But that guy started like making streams like calling me a bitch and stuff. I'm like, I just have to make sure the show's going or whatever. And whatever's going on right there, we're just gonna move on.
I will give Duck this. He is a pretty respectable man, but he just won't.
I got no problems with him. I don't know who he is.
Yeah, he's a
he just won't answer a question. Yeah, he's out there.
Yeah.
But I respect him but he's just out there. But he never answers a waste of time.
He's what I call like a political atheist. So there's always trying to get an ought from the is. So the goalposts keep moving. So you're like, okay, but can you if we agree that this is a thing, then all your ought claims are just preferences. You have to ground it in a justification. And they can never do that because there's like, well, but I just feel like, well, the studies show and consensus. Like, that's not a justification.
Yeah, no, he's a normie. He's a normie who fell into this whirlpool of madness, and like he's trying to blow his way into relevance, but like, nah, bro, you're too dumb. You're too in the matrix yet. So
well, it's just too rude. Like that's the whole thing. Like it's one thing if you're on a debate channel like Sarah's channel where I've gone on in there, half bottle wine and like cause some ruckus because it's kind of that's the mood, but you don't just show up on someone else's stream and start throwing haymakers. That's just rude, man.
I mean, it was kind of. John came out with the out of the
John,
gate swinging there.
But it's your channel. Like it's you and John's channel. Like
all I know is I've had this kind of situation pop up, and I can't really stay neutral because there's all these different parties, whatever. I don't know Duck. I don't even have an opinion.
Nah, it doesn't matter.
What were we talking about? Yeah. So we're talking about like be a man and you know the game, you know the script. So go to church, fight the war against your own sins, against the weaknesses inside of you. I think there is, if you're not a monk, if you're a man, if you're a father, a husband, I think you do need to, I don't know. What do you guys think? Do you need to have some level of awareness of geopolitics, the psyops, in order to not be hoodwinked? Or do you think you just have enough of the lens of the phronema that you aren't tricked? Because like, I know Orthodox people that were tricked by 2020 and got the shot and had the myocarditis and all that stuff. So if they were able to be plugged in and see through it a bit more, they would have been more protected. What do you think about the balance of living your life, being the better person, being a husband and father, working on yourself, going to church, versus the outer world with all of these larger forces that you don't have control in, and protecting from that? Like, what is the
the problem is, like, let's go with like the coof and the shots and all the rest of it, right? Like I got AstraZeneca twice down here in Australia, because we just got down here. They weren't requiring it, and then they did start requiring it, and a lot of the language down here made me fearful, because I was on a tourist visa, so I was actually worried about getting deported and not being let back in the country, which they do that. So I looked at the options and was like, well, shit, right? Like, so I went got 2 shots of the AstraZeneca, because I also figured down here, we had talked to a friend of the family's who's in medical, and she kind of alluded to the fact that most of the shots here in Western Australia, because of the mining industry and all the rest of it, was probably just sugar water. So I was like, you're
I definitely think there was different lots of the shots. Like, some were probably placebo. They probably had different variables to.
It's a very small population down here. If there was tons of even just like sample size of talking to people, I would have heard of side effects. Like, it would have been rampant down here, because we're talking about a standing population of, like, I think 5 million in the entire state. So it would have shown up. But anyways, that's neither here nor there. I think, to answer the question though, you do have to be aware of the currents. Like, it's like weather. You'd have to know what kind of weather's coming, so you can better prepare for it. I think what woke a lot of people up, myself included, in 2020 is that I call it like stacking these mental contradictions, and then contradictions just kind of fell, because you looked around and it was like, well, this doesn't comport with what I thought how Canada or the West or anything operates. So if we're operating like this now, then that changes my paradigm and changes how I view my neighbors, my people, like everything. And I gotta look at my situation and find out where my vulnerabilities are, and shore those up, both spiritually, physically, financially, all the rest of it. And I think you can be going to church and being man up and all the rest of it, but the world can still hit you, and you need to know, if it's a hurricane coming, batten down the hatches, like you get some sandbags. Like, doesn't matter how good of a father you are, do you know how to swim? Those kind of things. So.
Yeah, I agree.
I wanted to add something. Like, first of all, like, I wanted to make a joke, like, it's a fake dichotomy. Like, I was going to do like a whole, like, I don't know, Jay Dyer impression, but I guess it's like the Southern accent is a very. Here,
I'll help you out. Hit on mute, Yvonne. Go on, try it. I'm just kidding. Come on. Hey, come back. Let me do it.
So, no, fake. It's a false dichotomy. Like, you're supposed to do both things at the same time. What I would have added, and it's not because it was incomplete, is like to give a little bit of emphasis in like giving the testimony. Like, of course, yeah, be a man, all of this, but being a man of Christ means like bearing the cross and like dying, literally dying. Like the soil needs your blood right now. Like, the churches are built out of the saints' bones. Right. So like, you need to give the testimony. That would be my like emphasis. It's not different. You're not saying anything that's different from that. But like, I feel like I have to make that emphasis, because everybody, well, at least most of the people I see coming to church now, like, they're coming because they see that we're based. They see that there's like a real tradition. They see that there's like intellectual rigor. But at the same time, they just want to consume. Like, they want to be the recipients of the legacy that the church has like safeguarded for us. But they don't want to be, let's say, another chain on the link. They don't want to be the next saints, and that's a problem to me. And I don't know if it's appropriate to say this, but honestly, I feel like a lot of the hierarchy is failing us. Like, for example, today of all days, one of the guys from my Buenos Aires parish, like, he started saying stuff about one of the councils, one of the newer councils, the one in Crete, which was an ecumenical council, ecumenist. It wasn't an ecumenical council. It was an ecumenist council trying to be an ecumenical council.
It was denying the faith, essentially.
Yeah. And honestly, what we need is support from the priests. We need priests to start speaking against these things. Like we need your backing, because if not, like the laity, we cannot duke it out amongst ourselves. Like we actually need that support to keep the faith from being flooded by these liberal, progressive modernists. So anyway, that's my point.
I think, well, yeah, I mean, I can't speak for every single church and every single parish, obviously, but I think Orthodoxy has a good filter on it, only because other requirements, like even your just basic requirements of having a prayer rule, is something, and you kind of feel it. Like, maybe again, I'll speak of myself. Like you know when you go to liturgy and you haven't, you know when you're being you're the weak link in the prayer, because you see everyone else bowing right, and you're like, oh shit. Yeah, I'm not going to say my prayers right and all that kind of stuff. I'm distracted, whatever. Like you feel it. So I think just the natural going to liturgy and being in that experience with people who take it seriously and aren't just standing up with smoke machines and singing a little hymn. There's a pressure on there, But again, maybe that's different for other parishes.
No, I mean, I think it's wildly, like, it varies wildly, because, for example, some people, like, you can see a girl come in dressed with her her veil on, like dressed as if she was like a peasant from the 17th century Russia. And then the next Sunday she will come and you will see that she's like dressed in a scantily dressed with full of tattoos. And I think sometimes like appearances can be deceiving, especially for the people who are like trying to cross themselves like super correctly, right? And it can be more of a LARP. Like when you get to know the people and when you know yourself, you kind of get to gauge it a little bit. I wouldn't say it's spiritually helpful to gauge those things, but in a practical manner, if like you have to be blind not to be able to see like that, some people take the faith seriously and some don't. But like as a matter of principle, like what I would like to see is more priests like saying like the hard teachings, like speaking truth, not to be based, not to like take revenge on anyone, not to like push other people away, but rather to stand firm on the boundaries of the church. Like Father Peter Heers is one of my like top guys in terms of like the people who I admire the most for like standing up for what Orthodoxy is. And like it feels very disheartening when you see like, for example, priests like tread like on eggshells, not to offend people who are openly against church teaching, right? Because we cannot lose that precious soul. It's like you're gonna lose them anyway. They're not with Christ. So what are we pretending? Like
I've seen some people talk about like they came from Roman Catholicism or Protestantism to an Orthodox church, and the Orthodox priest will kind of like downplay the differences or be a little more lenient. And they're like, no, I want the strictness. I want the boundaries. I want the clearness of this is what they believe and this is what we believe, instead of like, because I mean, there is crossover. There are things that we believe. There's nuances. Like when we say we profess the Trinity and Christ, they have the filioque. There's differences, but that doesn't mean that there's not crossover or things that we both affirm. And that's not the same thing as not having boundaries and not being clear.
That being said, I think especially for new inquirers and all the rest of it, there should be. This comes down to to a difference of a father's, his personality and his way of approaching it. But I think in general, taking a much more prolonged relationship with each inquirer is a good idea, and bring people in as they need to, because a lot of people come in now, and myself included, because I'm doing my catechism right now here in Australia, after like 5 years of observing. And my family, my mother's family was Russian Orthodox, but I was baptized Roman Catholic. It's a mess, but now I'm going through the whole thing. But I'm bringing in 5 years of my own study into it, and I have to practice a lot of humility, because it's very easy for me to go, yeah, I know, right? But like, no, sit, listen. Like that's if nothing else, just sit and listen and shut up. How about you sit and listen and shut up? And just, maybe you don't know everything. Maybe they're going to say something that you didn't catch, or it's going to hit you in a new way. So just because you've read, a lot of the church fathers, and I got to have a good grasp on the Trinity and energies and essences and all the rest of it, doesn't mean like I know everything, because I've listened to a whole bunch of podcasts. So,
or that it past any kind of just intellectual affirmation.
Right. Yeah. And I think this is a hard one for a lot of people to understand, maybe, is that for most people, unless you're going to go on into the church or become a theologian on some level, knowledge should get you to the point where you don't have any more resistances. Like, you should know enough to not have to question anything. And then once you know that, then just don't question. Like, just go along and pray. Like, don't have to, if your priest has a difference in politics than you, that doesn't matter. It's like, go to liturgy, pray, be part of the community, go have coffee, go home. Like, you don't have to make it this online orthodoxy life into your actual practice of liturgy. And if you can, cool. If you go to a base church with a base father and base people at your church, awesome. But that's not what the church is. Because all this politics and everything you're worried about, that's not going to be around in 100 years. Won't be around in 20 years, probably. So calm down. It's going to be fine.
I completely agree.
Both Ann says, I have something to ask. I am taking my time bringing along my small children and my wife. Have you guys experienced this and how to practice patience? I feel anxious to have them baptized. I would say I was lucky that my wife and I converted at the same time, and there wasn't one of us on board and the other one not. But at my parish, there's been several marriages where one spouse was converting, the other one was not. And one example, there's a husband and wife that had 5 kids, and he was Orthodox for, I think, 8 years before his wife and all of his kids were baptized. So, my
priest was like that.
And I don't say that to say that is like your path, but that's an example I've seen. And how to have that patience, it would just be to work on yourself, work on what else can you do except like what we've been saying, like be a good father, be a good husband, root out all the sins in yourself, go to church and pray. I mean, don't be a spurg. I don't know, anybody else have better advice than that?
Well, it's about redemption, right? And when you when you repent, you're supposed to change. You're supposed to transform you. So as it transforms you, hopefully it has positive effects on the people around you. Sometimes some relationships will have to end, and hopefully that has nothing to do with your marriage, or any of that. But that sometimes happens. But like I was just saying, my priest, Father John, he converted, went through Orthodox. It was even like going through the motions of becoming a priest before his wife converted, and then she did the full conversion like 7 years after he began his journey. So it can happen. It just works on people. Hello, listeners saying, "Hey, my bad." In my chat.
Fuck you.
Okay.
Hello, listener.
I don't agree. What's up?
Just joking.
Yeah, I don't know what it was. Okay, we got another question. Are you guys against arranged marriages?
No. I mean, the persons involved have to assent, but fundamentally, like, the idea is that in a traditional society, like, the parents of both parties take a huge interest on who their children are marrying. Like, you're not an individual. You're not going to the supermarket to buy a spouse. You're not thinking, oh, maybe this person could be a good fit. Like, they have to be vetted by the whole community. And ideally, they're already within the Orthodox community itself. So is that an arranged marriage when parents say, okay, your son looks like a good fit for my daughter, and vice versa? It's not like an Indian arranged marriage, but it's
how many goats we talking about?
Yeah, exactly. Dowry.
Hey.
Yeah.
Go, Father. Well, okay.
I'm not against arranged marriages. I think that our society and the dating landscape is so effed that we're pretty far away from that. I don't know I guess that'd just be a case by case thing if you wanted to try to go back there. I had another thought about the one spouse going into Orthodoxy and the other not. I think it was on Roots of Faith. I think it's a Roman Catholic channel. I saw an interview with a Orthodox priest, and he was talking about him. He became Orthodox for maybe a few years, and his wife was starting to come from Roman Catholicism into Orthodoxy. And she was doing like the prayers, and he was like, "No, you have to do it in this tone. Like you have to. This is how you sing it each time." And she was like, "This is weird. Stop it." And his priest, his spiritual father, was like, "Leave her alone. Love her. Stop pushing her. Like that's not leading. Trying to make her follow everything in the Orthodox, all the letter of the law and all that stuff. Like let her find it herself." So yeah, just patience. Don't spurg. Biggest things probably.
Yeah, and that's like kind of like, I know most of you guys don't really know what my environment is, but like my girl right now, she is not at all with Orthodoxy at all. But there's a point in time where I did have to be like, all right, well, I'm just gonna have to like show you how Orthodoxy is supposed to be presented.
And
I can't
force you. Fails?
I can't force you into this. But
right.
I mean, like,
and you are like the main representative of Orthodoxy to her. So how you react and how you handle your emotions or your frustration or your lack of patience or anything like that is how she's going to view the faith, because you're like her entry point.
Yeah. Like no matter what happens, like. There's been a lot of crazy stuff that's happened, but like no matter what happens, I have to portray Orthodoxy. If I don't, then she's just gonna be like, well, you're just like any other dude.
Yeah, and if all else fails, like you can always bribe her. Like it's all about the Benjamins.
Yeah, it's
like,
true. Well, I know.
Course.
I know. I've given. There's examples. I've given of one spouse, like the husband coming into Orthodoxy, and then the other spouse maybe after a few years following along. I had to pick up a dryer, not a dishwasher. Sorry, from somebody at my church was giving them away, and I had all this work to do on the house I'm selling. I was like, oh sweet, let's save $800 and get a washer machine. So I show up, and I start talking to the lady, and she's like in her 70s. She's like, yep, me and my husband married for 50 years. I'm like, oh yeah, I don't really see him around the church. Like he's Protestant. I'm like, oh wow. Picture being Orthodox and married to a guy for 50 years and they're Protestant. It's a different relationship. I mean, maybe it could still come. We've had a couple of people baptized in their like 80s at my church. So you never say never, but that's a long time to be patient. 50 years.
Yeah. And we're only in like a couple of years. So, I mean, not even a couple, just like a year and a half. Okay. So calm down. But yeah, but like, it's a crazy thing to where you have to like act out everything.
I wanted to break protocol a little bit. No. It's you're all right, John. But
all right, fearless leader Yvonne. Where are we going?
We're going in the same direction that we were going. But basically, what I wanted to say is not an advice to the person that was asking, but an advice to John personally. What I would do, I'm not a model of anything, right? But what I would do in your case, because it's your girlfriend and not your wife, I would say like Orthodoxy is a non-negotiable. Okay, if we ever have children, like they're gonna be Orthodox. Okay, we're gonna raise them Orthodox, and that's not negotiable.
That's like Peugeot's
situation. You're
situation.
Still okay with that? Like you don't have to become Orthodox. Okay, you don't have to, but our children will be Orthodox. They will be raised Orthodox. If they want to fall away from the faith, that's on them. But you're not going to influence them. That's the precondition for us to getting married. Because like it's different to be like dating and to be already married. If you're already married and you're coming into Orthodoxy and your spouse is not following along, like you've made a commitment to that person before you made a commitment to Christ, right? And you should honor the commitment you made to your spouse. But if you're already committing yourself to Christ, it makes no sense to then go back and retroactively try to say, oh, well, yeah, I'm kind of an Orthodox Christian, but like you do you, because that's not orthodox, right? Especially if you're a man.
Yeah, but no, I've already given her these preconditions for like, if we're going to get married, our children are going to be this. We are going to raise them by this structure, and everything else after that. That's it. I don't care what you say. You can divorce me. You can sue me. You can do whatever the fuck you want to do. But these are the preconditions for being with me and having children with me. These are the preconditions, and I won't waver from that.
I've heard Orthodox say that marriages don't actually count when done outside of the church, though. I mean, so I was married as a Protestant outside of the church. When I came into the church with my wife, we had a wedding ceremony for us to come into the sacrament of marriage within the church and have our marriage blessed. So it's not that we would. I mean, that'd be like a talk to your spiritual father thing. If you became Orthodox and you're already married, you'd likely have your marriage blessed, but it wouldn't be like, oh yeah, you weren't actually married that whole time. It's not like an annulment or anything like that.
And even then, unless you're planning on going further up the ranks of the church, it really doesn't. I mean, I don't want to speak for your spiritual father, your priest, so talk to them obviously, but like it doesn't matter as much as you think it is. Like if you want to be a priest, it does, or a deacon, it does. But I mean, if you're just a layman practitioner, then being remarried in the church, well, it's a good idea. It's I'm not saying you shouldn't. Just it's not like it's not that it doesn't count.
It is true that I gave Distinction an ortho pass, so he can say whatever he wants to any Orthodox, and it falls on me. So
baptisms baptisms are a different thing. Oh, look at Tony back.
Hey, I saw that all of you.
You got in the right chat all of a sudden. I understand you come to my chat because it is the best chat. It is the superior chat, but Mr. Wester's chat's pretty good.
No, I noticed. I went. I had to go get some outside time. I laid face first in the grass, and then I noticed that everybody had my name in the title of their show, and I was like, "Oh, that's kind of rude. Maybe I should actually show up."
Bro, we need a closer.
You're screwing everyone over.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to get you guys to 1,000 subscribers. That's my goal. Once you hit 1,000 subs, I disown you. I don't know you people. I just
it was good knowing you, man. Thanks for it.
You're like new phone. Who dis? What?
I have 37 subscribers.
I don't even know what I'm at.
37.
So far,
37.
So far, the only video I have that's good was the fake ad I made. That's the only video.
Well, John's the project, because I mean, Westford and Hello Listener, you guys are you're right. You're basically right there, right? Like, Jim Bob did more for you guys than I could ever do. I can just get you over the last little bit. Moondragon, 37 subscribers, my friend. Oof, okay.
That's kind of a cool thing about the
have you thought about changing your face at all? Have you thought about doing something with this? Just no.
No, you're good.
Joking.
No, I like John.
I am way prettier than you.
I know he's
true.
I know
That's a very low bar. That's a very low bar.
You were literally really offended by that, John. Like I tell.
I was. People get mad at me. They're like, "You don't think like your look is this?" And I'm like, "Dude, like I am."
Bro.
About.
What with this Nike t-shirt?
That was a little bit off.
With my clean Nike t-shirt. Look, there's no stains on it. That's beautiful. Like
mine's covered in paint.
There's stains. They're my stains. Okay.
Average heterosexual moment. Yeah.
I got a question for you, Tony, from my chat. From Galactus says, ask Tony if Jim Bob's poll has helped him settle on the self-description smart dumb or dumb smart. Oh, I think he's frozen.
Oh, he's came back in a different.
It's either frozen or he's doing the longest bit.
He's a fucking troll.
Is this how you multiply?
This
is how the Orthodox will take over with numbers. We produce by budding.
King Pill says gotta be dumb, I guess.
Yo, King Pill, thanks for the follow today. I noticed.
It's powerful mutual.
Noticed.
We're building alliances. We're making changes. The thing about the Orthodox world is we all believe in God, so we don't sit around trying to backstab and ruin each other. We actually just want to see each other thrive. This
is why I found out about being in the too many DR spaces last year. I'm like, oh, okay, that's what you guys are all about. That's cool. That's cool. Cool.
Can you define DR? What's DR?
Dissident right.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, there's a lot of backstabbing. There's a lot of girl bosses out there. I kind of don't want anything to do with any of it.
Just weird gatekeeping. Like, why are you gatekeeping? Like, what? You know, the most amazing thing I find is that it doesn't matter the size of the account. Like, people will get pissy over like 1,000 sub account. You're like, you're not big, dude. Or even like, I got 20,000 followers on Twitter. I'm like, oh, okay. What are you talking about? Asmongold has like 7 million people listening to him all the time. Like, there's scales to this shit, man.
Yeah, it's all relative. I'm inwardly famous. Outward.
Inward?
He's got an any.
You identify as a famous person, basically.
Yeah, in my mind, I'm doing really well for myself. But
I hope
not see it.
I hope I didn't. I hope I didn't insult John off the stream. That wasn't my intention. I just
not at all.
It's probably
my humor runs cruel. So, I was going to say something. Oh, everyone should go check out Ortho Thugs though. That's it's Tony and Jim Bob doing a stream, dude. I think you commented that you watched me and Matt watch your first show yesterday. That was the second time I watched it. I was in tears because you having OBS problems, and I was like, Matt's got to see this because you guys want to play a bit of it, because anyone who's ever had to deal with OBS at all knows the monitor on, monitor off, monitor on, monitor off. What is this on? Is it on? Not on? Is it? Do you hear this? Why is the sound playing? Is it not playing?
Dude, audio issues plague my life.
It was beautiful, man. I was just weeping.
Still deaf to this day. So, Myron Chuck, why don't you shout out my channel, man? Like, who am I? Chop liver.
I didn't know you had a channel.
Do you have 1,000 subs, dude? Are you worth his time?
No. I have like, I think 91 subscribers.
You're always worth my time if you have less than 1,000. If you have more than 1,000, then you don't need me.
Yeah, you flipped the script there.
No, that's what I was saying. I don't know why.
As soon as you're my competition, I disown you.
There's some guy trying to compete with me. I don't even understand it. I forget what his name is. Look, he's like, you can't be the only Orthodox musician. I'm gonna take your throne. I'm like, I got a throne.
You should have one now. No, it's like I have this open competition with Matthew at Kingpilled. He has like 100 more subscribers than me on YouTube. X numbers don't count, and I've decided like I have to always be at least one subscriber ahead of Matthew, or else there's an imbalance in the universe that has to be rectified. So we're almost there.
Your island head right now.
I mean, not totally dissimilar.
You've improved, actually. Hello, listener. Like your facial aesthetics, your phrenology has improved. Like,
he does doing this. He does have the best special face. Who's upset about there's being no gumballs in the machine at the supermarket.
Yeah,
no gumballs. No gumballs.
See, you do the best Easter Island head impression, because if I take the camera and do this, you're gonna say it's gay because our faces are too close. So you won't even let me try. That's the gatekeeping that's happening now.
Sorry, no.
The gatekeeping, yeah.
Comfortable easily. I'm a very affectable person.
You're malleable?
Not malleable. I'm actually not malleable at all, but I'm
vain.
Affected.
You're easily infected. You're infectable?
Affected. I'm easily affected by things.
He's thin-skinned.
Like colors. I don't like the colors. Right.
Yeah. Or weird sounds. Sometimes a cloud will throw me off my game for a whole day.
No, I get you, bro. Yeah.
I have a question for you. Hello, Mr. Listener. Where do you think comedy has gone wrong?
Because everyone's trying to revolutionize everything instead of like, okay, I was talking about it on my show today. instead of understanding that it's not about constant revolution and constant update, people have kind of got lost in that idea that you have to be meaner than the last guy, more aggressive, more racist or something like that. And all it does is kind of set you on a stone path that doesn't allow you to return back to what makes things funny, which is just, you know, being a goofball, hanging out with your bros and just having fun. They just everyone's kind of getting in their own way because they've been indoctrinated with a revolutionary mindset, and it affects everything they do. Everything always has to be updated. Dude, good jokes last forever. I'm still laughing at jokes from the 90s.
Yeah.
I mean, it's the same problem with like anything. We're like in a desert when it comes to art and media and all that. Like you have to go back in time to find an oasis in it for the most part.
Yeah, that's true. And it's really like it's a thing that has infected every aspect of our society on purpose. It's constant revolution without meaning, and so many people are lost in it that they shoot past the mark. They don't realize when they've made it. They don't realize when they've actually gotten where they need to be and can relax. Like, you're there, dude. You've exited the psyops. You've exited the revolutions. You understand what's going on in the world. You don't need to keep red pilling yourself. It's over now. Time to just try and be a normal
just
human.
Build. Yeah,
build.
It's part of like my vengeful son thesis, like saying this: the spirit of the vengeful son is the new spirit of the age, because you're getting all these younger people, you know, who have been lied to, have been manipulated, who are coming onto this deceit, and they're getting red pilled immediately. Like, instead of going through those, like, that 5-10 year period that a lot of us have been doing, all of a sudden they're getting it like one shot, and they're getting angry and they want to start burning things down.
Well, that's what
tear it down.
That's what happened to me when I first got red pilled. I almost ended up in jail. I was homicidal. I was so angry with how many lies I'd been mired in. And so when I finally broke out, like, it was an act of God that I made it to orthodoxy, and it saved me. You know, it saved me from being overcome with the rage of the lies of the modern world. Like, it is shocking. It's extremely shocking. But the thing is, people get addicted to it. And that's why they go out down these insane conspiracy theories, is because the red pill becomes heroin to them. They become addicted to the pill, and they just want another hit of, I know something no one else knows. Completely missing the point.
It's about relevancy too, right? So some of these, you get it on this island of relevancy. Maybe you do a show, you have a thing on Twitter, you get a few, or you see these people getting all these massive accounts, you know, revealing the lies and the distruths, exposing this and that and the other thing, and so you're like, well, I want that, you know, I want to be like that, I want to have that relevancy, and you realize that you can't be relevant. Like, exposing the truth is one thing, but you have to be able to live it, and that's why you need Christ. Like, you need to actually model. We, you know, Christians have the benefit of, like, the truth is a man. The truth can be modeled, so we can just model Christ. This is why I say, you know, model the prodigal son. Return, repent, redeem. Start that process, and realize that it's not everyone else's fault. It's your fault. You can do something about this, you know. And just because you believed all the lies, great. You don't believe the lies anymore, like you're saying, Tony. Well, great. So now you don't believe the lies. Now what? Now what are you going to do? Oh, he's gone again.
Yeah. Well, I think
I come back with 5 quotes.
To add to that, I think that the issue is living that truth in a manner that is life-giving. And what I see in society is a huge fear on the part of people who should be exercising authority to exercise it. And what I mean concretely is, like, for example, at the level of parents, like parents not telling their children, quit it, stop, don't do this shit, because they are afraid that they will lose the love of their children. But, like, the Bible is clear, like, spare not the rod. Like, if you spare the rod, you hate your child, right? And it scales up, like, and you see that even within the church. You see it at the level of politics. Like, liberalism has infected not only the whole West, but it's seeping in to the East as well. And it's basically this idea that we have to make everyone feel like they've been heard, and this and that. And it doesn't matter. It really does not matter, because if you do exercise your authority, you're basically cutting something. You're saying this does not belong. Like, this is the direction we should be going to. This detracts from that direction. So like, you drop the dead weight. It's like Moses, he killed half the camp. Like, first he destroyed the tablets because the people were rebelling, and then he lowered himself to the level of the people, and he was like, those who are with God, come with me. Those who don't repent from idolatry, we're gonna slaughter you. And he did slaughter them. So the problem is, like, nobody wants to be the bad guy. Nobody wants to be the guy to say no, because that's also a form of dying to yourself. It's a form of like saying, even with what happened with Kanye West, like his stupid song, like he's basically saying, I don't care what you think about me. Like, I don't care if you try to ruin my reputation. My reputation is nothing compared to what I believe and what I give myself to. Kanye West is an idiot. But here is where like Gnostics and real Orthodox Christians align, which is we're supposed to give our testimony. We're not supposed to be this like mealy mouthed, okay, no, I understand you, but I want you to be part of my church, and I get it, you will transform yourself in due time, just like keep praying. Okay, that's part of it. That's part of the tradition as well. Like, some people need to listen to that. But we cannot have like a society like oriented around like protecting people's feelings. Like, and like I agree with your formulation, Jason, of like the vengeful son dynamic that comes after the devouring mother. But like, if you're talking to these vengeful sons, like, they're basically saying very commonsensical things like, dude, I don't want to die for a country that hates me. Like, oh, you actually need me? You need me to die. Oh, basically, now I'm the strongest dude in this group. Well, guess what? I'm not going to follow you. You don't care about me. So I'm going to start my own company or whatever. And I don't think that's inherently mean. I don't think that's inherently vengeful. But it has to be directed.
But the problem with the vengeful sons is going to feel good. And the biggest problem is that we have no more breaks in society to stop it. So you're right. That youthful energy to say, hey, I'm pissed off, I have leverage, I'm going to do something about this, isn't a bad thing in and of itself. It's that when it gets, and you and I and everyone in this stream and everyone listening can apply it in the right way, I have no doubt. The problem is when it's applied to random people, what you see with the Luigi Mangiones of the world, or the Troons. I've said that the most disturbing thing and people are gonna have to wake up to this, is when the kids who got Trooned, 3, 4, 5 years ago, turn 18, 19, 20, 21, and realize that their life is screwed. And all the puberty blockers and all this stuff is not making anything better. And those who don't self-delete are going to be angry. And we're already seeing that with like groups like the Zizians and stuff like that, who get armed and start running havoc. And as they start doing things, Zizians, I don't know, whatever.
Zizekians.
What are they?
Zizekians?
What are they?
They're basically a commune of Troons, of armed, angry Troons. It's a cult.
Are they on our side?
No.
Bro's making connections everywhere. He's like, okay, are they friendly?
I'm here to build bridges, no matter how gay they are.
Well, because I'm saying we could weaponize people who cut off their penises and are angry. We can be like, okay, here's why you did that. It's because of a very particular group of people, and then we can arm them and use them as an army of relatively disposable people to fight our wars.
I understand. Well, also, I should bow out of this conversation, perhaps, in the sense of like, you're Americans, your people are armed to the teeth, and like one crazy Troon guy could like kill a lot of people. That doesn't happen in Spain or in Argentina, because like, honestly, they're pathetic physically and they don't have the weapons. So like, I don't have to. I'm not afraid. But maybe you have a better reason to be afraid of these like Troons, like basically deciding they have nothing worth living for and like just wanting to like destroy the world.
It's dark because they don't have a path back to normalcy. They can't fix their body that's been destroyed. They can't reproduce.
They could probably become monks.
Yeah, of course. But they, I mean, I've listened to some videos of these Troons that have detransitioned, and they're talking about the anger and the sadness, the despair that they're feeling from feeling like what was their birthright the ability to continue their family trees been taken away because they were young, impressionable. They thought they wanted something. This is what they're saying, that they went along with it and they thought they wanted it. They thought that this is what they believed. But they've come to realize that it wasn't. It was just something that they were a part of for whatever reason, and now they're going to have to live with the repercussions the rest of their life. And that's the vengeful sun spirit of that rage that's inside of them from what's they voluntarily and through these other forces were kind of leading them along, have given up, and now they have to somehow transmute that rage they have into them without destroying and trying to tear down as a revenge for what's been done to them and what they've done to themselves.
Yeah, I completely agree with what you're all saying. Perhaps the solution, speaking as a vengeful son myself, I'm not a troon, obviously, but I can empathize
we all got
with them.
To be vengeful about. My little brother is a troon.
Yeah.
I got some anger to figure out.
It's gonna affect us all in its own way. It's how you channel it. That's why I say with the prodigal son inside the story is a man who his awareness that he has to return back to the father comes when he's eating the food of the pigs. Like he realizes he's like been brought low. So to come back to the Father, humility is the first step. Because if people want righteousness, they want justice, they want victory, they want all these things. They want to be righteous, even to judge others and to bring them to justice requires righteousness. The only way you can get that is to follow the path of righteousness. If you just do it out of anger, without the church or without any kind of breaks or conditioning or morality, you just become a monster yourself. So it's not saying that it's by saying this. I think people hear this and they go, "Oh, you're saying that we shouldn't be looking for justice for the people who've done us wrong." I'm like, no, that's not it. It means that you can't start talking about this stuff until you get yourself straightened out.
Right. If you're doing it because of the feeling of gratification, that getting revenge or having justice brought about is going to be good, how are you going to stop it?
Right.
Yeah. Well, I would also venture to say that you have to articulate what justice is before you start pursuing it. Because if you don't know what justice is, what are you working towards? And what I think would make the troon angrier is the unrepentant boomer saying, like, I had nothing to do with it. Like, I completely betrayed you, but I had nothing to do with it. Like, it wasn't my fault. I was simply doing what I thought was best. Like, I did my best. You cannot blame me for anything. I don't take any responsibility.
Abdication.
Yeah.
Yeah, which is what most people do, because look at the post-COVID response. How many people who were like, "Hey, we didn't know. How could we have known?
Yeah.
No one told us." And it's like, what do you mean?
Yeah.
No one told you? Yeah. No. Gentlemen, it's been a treat. I'm going to sign off and I'll continue my show. But yeah, Ivan, anyone, John, follow me on X, and we'll shut you out. Funny enough, and while I have you all here, Mr. Erickson and I were talking about extending our weekly show together, Network Armageddon Electric Boogaloo, to becoming more of a panel show. And so we were, Mr. Westford, your name came up as a possible thing. But if you guys are interested in doing some sort of ortho panel on a weekly basis, this sounds like a good idea. So we just kind of test run it today. So get it.
You want me to be there?
You're a busy guy now, Tony. I mean, if you want to, of course you can come on. I know you're a busy guy.
So busy. He's barely even able to be on this show. It's hard to get a hold of him.
I would have automatically invited you, but now you're hanging out with like the elites. I'm a sub 10,000 account. So
the elites. I'm just not smart enough.
No. Of course, I'm saying this. Everyone on this panel right now, plus Matthew Erickson, would make a damn fine show on a weekly basis. Just saying.
I think I'd be into it, but I don't know what I have to add. But I will change my backgrounds the whole time.
Clever backgrounds.
I don't know what I would have to add either. I would just be like, giving a Jesse Peterson accent and just be like,
well, that's perfect. That's we need the holy fools inside the congregation. Matthew says in my over on Kick, I want to declare war on Tony, and then we can engage in battle together every week. So there you go.
Wait, is that which guy is that?
King Pill.
Erickson, King Pill.
Oh, okay. There's a couple
So there
people
you go.
trying to do that right now for some reason.
I mean, if you want to fight, I'll if that'll pump up our numbers, we can get people to pick sides and get angry. I mean, if that helps our channel, or whatever,
I'm no
make
good
more
at
money.
fighting.
That's all right.
I don't think
Matt
I'm
says
built
they can get in line. Your other combatants can get in line with behind
Matt
Mighty
definitely
King
takes
build.
precedence.
We could say go to liturgy ad nauseum for an hour and a half. That would be a good stream.
Yeah,
that's pretty good. That's a good idea.
Every
you guys
every
got
5 minutes.
Distinction too.
And Distinction, have you been to liturgy? I would
rather.
No, he hasn't.
Have all of the Orthodox streams that you watched with people saying go to liturgy for an hour and a half? Have you been? Did you come and see?
He's waiting for it to rub off on him.
Who the hell is King Pill?
That's Matt Erickson.
This guy.
Oh, no.
I've been hearing this guy.
Now,
you're
Matt's
King
gonna have
Pill?
to declare war on you.
No, he's not King Pill. No.
Oh.
No. King Pill sounds like a monarchist.
He's a far right extremist.
Yes, he's a man made out of
Wait,
hair.
you guys aren't far right extremists. What the hell?
Where am I at?
Yeah,
I'm a
you guys are. I'm
thought you guys were
I don't even feel comfortable on the stream if you're.
Yeah. He always does this. Like he's abdicating. He basically abdicates every time. Like
hold on,
I'm
guys
trying to
saying this word. What does it mean?
It means to renounce your rightful place as a man, as a king, as a steward of God's creation. It means it's what Adam did. It was like, this bitch, I don't know her. Like it's like you gave this woman to me.
We was kings, bro. How can you argue against that?
What do you mean, John?
I mean, that's kind of that's the focus of my show. If there's anything that you get from Hello Listener, it's that we're trying to restore Byzantium, but we want China and America and Japan to be part of it, and then it's going to be like hyper Byzantium
and Venezuela Venezuela. Also, we was kings.
Wait, how do we get all the way over there? I wanted them.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Just accept it.
We're gonna skip over like Mexico and go straight to Venezuela.
Yeah. Just
Mexico needs you. Like he's gonna join.
Mexico does not need me. Mexico
I'm really good at ending streams.